Have you ever looked at a job description and thought, man, this job description absolutely suits my profile? But then a few minutes later, you start wondering why no one seems to see it. You apply, you wait, and nothing happens. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. Welcome to Researcher Compass. Today, we are going to tackle a deeply frustrating scenario that happens to incredibly smart people, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can fix it. So, why is industry ignoring you? From my own experience and after speaking with so many brilliant researchers across both academia and industry, I can assure you of one thing. The problem is usually not your technical ability, not at all. It's that you are describing your work in a language that industry just does not naturally understand. You are speaking in academia and they are listening in industry. That's it. Think about what you do every single day. You spend hours in learning some of the most advanced technologies in your field. You design intricate experiments. You build custom device from scratch and you spend countless hours meticulously working in clean rooms and you run massive multi-physics simulations. You are literally solving complex problems most people even could not begin to understand. Your expertise is absolutely undeniable. So you don't need to learn new technical skills. You just need a new way to communicate the skills you already have. That means the first reason industry seems to ignore you is the language you are using to describe your work. That's all. And second is that understanding the difference between academia and industry. As researchers in academia, we are trained to ask questions like, can we demonstrate something novel? Can this concept work? And can we get this published? Those are the questions we spend years learning to answer. But industry ask a completely different set of questions. They want to know, can this be manufactured consistently? Can we scale it up? Can our customers actually rely on it? And most importantly, can business make money from it or not? So, basically, while academia celebrates proving that a novel innovation is possible, industry celebrates turning that innovation into thousands or even millions of reliable products. See the difference? So it's not less engineering, it's engineering at a completely different scale. And once you understand the difference, you begin to see where the translation gap actually coming from. And when I talk about the translation gap, things get really interesting. This is exactly where many highly qualified researchers unintentionally undersell themselves. Your CV is packed with impressive technical skills, advanced simulations, research projects, publications, and patents. To another scientist, that's undeniably impressive. But to HR manager or another hiring manager scanning your CV, your scientific terms don't always communicate the industrial value. That's the translation gap. We need to begin translating this into the language of employers actually understand. So let's break down one by one and learn exactly how the translation works. Let's start with technical skills first. In academia, you might list on your CV you used UV photolithography for wafer patterning. Technically, that's entirely true. But if I'm an industry hiring manager, my first question is, so what? That single line does not capture the real value of your work. As a researcher, you were not simply using UV photolithography. You optimized fabrication processes, improved process stability, reduced variation, solved manufacturing challenges, and improved fabrication consistency. That's the industrial value, and you already have that. And companies, they are exactly looking for those technical skills. So instead of writing, used UV photolithography for wafer patterning, you can say optimized photolithography process parameters to improve process stability, reduce critical dimension variation, and increase wafer yield. See the difference? Now, let's take another example from advanced simulation, let's say. In your CV, you might write developed console multiphysics simulations to analyze electromagnetic heating and thermal distribution in RFID tagged microwave containers. Again, technically, that's an excellent description. But if I'm an industry hiring manager, my next question is, so what? The achievement is not that you built a simulation model. The value is what those simulations help you achieve. You used those simulations to predict failures before manufacturing and supported crucial design decisions very early in the product development phase and reduced development risk and saved time by identifying problems before expensive prototypes even begins. So, whether it's fabrication or simulations, the question is always same. What impact did your work create? The exact same thing applies to research projects as well. Think about your research projects. Maybe you secured funding from an industrial partner. In my case, my PhD research was funded by Samsung Electronics from South Korea for 5 years. That means with industrial partners, you are leading a project, setting priorities, managing timelines, communicating technical progress, and you are delivering reports on strict deadlines. This is exactly called project management in corporate world. You may never use that official title in the lab, but you absolutely have those skills. You just have to own them. And the translation gap does not just stop here. I see many researchers make another mistake when it comes to their publication. If you have 50 publications, don't list all 50 on your CV. Instead, include a selected publication selection near the end of your CV. So you can mention something like 15 plus peer reviewed publications and then highlight just 2 or 3 publications that are most relevant to the position you are applying for. Remember, the goal is not to impress employers with the number of papers you have published. The goal is to help them quickly understand the impact and relevance of your expertise. And also, we need fundamentally change how we view our academic trophies, such as publications. If you treat academic trophies simply as a measure of academic success, you are totally missing the bigger picture. Look at what your publications actually prove to an employer. They prove you can identify important unsolved problems. They show that you can develop original ideas, design and execute incredibly complex multi-year projects, analyze hard evidence, and then communicate your findings clearly to an expert audience. In industry, they are not just writing skills, they are end-to-end innovation and execution skills. Those are the skills you should be highlighting on your CV, not just the number of publications you have. The same is completely true for patents. And if you have patents, they prove hard, undeniable evidence that you don't just study things, you create solutions with commercial potential, you create intellectual property that business can actually monetize. So, your job is employer to see that connection, and that's the central idea behind everything we have talked about today. Whether it's your clean room experience, simulations, research projects, publications, or patents, the experience hasn't changed. The value is always there. The only thing that's need to change is how you communicate it. So, if there is one thing I want you to take away from today's video, it's this: the 6-second formula. Here is the harsh reality. Recruiters and hiring managers don't spend minutes to understand the depth of your research. They spend an average of about 6 seconds deciding whether to keep reading your CV or move on. Just 6 seconds, not 6 minutes. So, I want to leave you with this final question to ask yourself. When you look at your CV right now, are you describing what you did, or you are communicating the impact you created? Because those are two different things. So, it's time to stop seeing your research as only academic and start showcasing the incredible industrial impact that was always there. That's all for today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to Researcher Compass. Every week, I share practical strategies to help researchers navigate their careers with confidence, whether it's academia, industry, or somewhere in between. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.